Fight!
Round 9.
This facility is crude, but it should be adequate to freeze Skywalker for his journey to the Emperor.
Lord Vader, we only use this facility for carbon freezing. You put him in there, it might kill him.
We will test it on Captain Solo.
What's going on, buddy? You're being put into carbon freeze.
Put him in.
Hey! Hey! Listen to me! Chewie! Chewie, this won't help me!
The princess. You have to take care of her.
I love you.
I know.
Well, Calrissian, did he survive?
Yes, he's alive.
Reset the chamber for Skywalker.
Skywalker has just landed, my lord.
Good. See to it that he finds his way in here. Take the princess and the Wookiee to my ship.
You said they'd be left in the city under my supervision.
I am altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. The Force is with you, young Skywalker. But you are not a Jedi yet.
Well done.
Oh man, I like this scene with the beginning battle with Luke versus Vader, and I like how the emotion of the scene with Han possibly dying and him and Leia kiss. You know, not that they didn't kiss already, but
Who didn't you kiss?
Lando, she didn't kiss Lando. But yeah, I like this scene. How'd you guys feel?
I thought it was a cool scene. With the carbon freezing, that was a little strange because not Lando, Han. They froze Han, and when the carbon hit the floor, that did not look like Han. It looked like they had more like a black person's features. It's like they threw a brother down there instead of Han. It just didn't match. It didn't look like him, did it? And another thing about it too. So when they put him down, I saw the little leprechaun. They took his cuffs off, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
The leprechaun?
Yeah, the little short. I don't know what race of creature they were, but it was a shorter stature creature. And they went to him and took his cuffs off, and when they froze him, his hands were like this.
Right.
Yeah, he still had the thing around his arms though.
Okay.
Yeah, like some string or something like rope.
It was just a very strange choice to uncuff him, to freeze him, and it just looked strange to me. I don't know who the black guy was they froze, but
Let that brother out.
yeah. Free the
Black features. Oh my god. How do you feel about the scene?
You know, there's one thing that I will add to my catalog of theories. I think that when Leia and Vader were staring at each other in that scene right before Han freezes, that he senses something in her, which is why he tells Lando to take him to the ship instead of letting them stay in Cloud City. I think that is.
But why now?
Hmm?
Why does he censor it now?
Well, I mean, I think he senses something in her different than what he sensed in New Hope.
Yeah.
Like, I think at that point, like, she had very little contact with Luke, very little contact with the Force in any way. Because obviously, to an extent, Luke had, some Force essence with, what little training he did with Ben Kenobi, and well, no, she didn't have any contact with Ben Kenobi. So what little contact she had with the Force through Luke. And I think that there are certain things, of course, that's
did she have contact in the Force with Luke? Because I don't think she did.
Well, he's saying her exposure to Luke.
Her exposure to Luke.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Secondhand smoking.
In a way.
Secondhand Force.
Yes. In a way, yes. But like, I think there is something that has exposed her to the essence of the Force that provokes some type of response internally that Vader senses, which is why he makes that connection.
And I have additional evidence to support that. It's enough that Yoda considers her another possibility. Yeah. Because let's say if she was what she is, the daughter of Anakin Skywalker, if there was no Force potential, she wouldn't even be an option. Yeah. So there is some latent potential that he is able to sense at that point for him to make that kind of statement.
For sure.
He can sense
him or Kenobi. I can't recall who exactly said that, but you get the point I'm trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can sense Force potential.
I don't think it's potential. I just think it's presence.
Yeah.
But that presence is only there because she was with Luke.
Maybe because she has prior exposure. I mean, I'm not going
because
this is a theory.
Because if you say that, then you can't say that maybe the same thing goes for the Jedi Council not sensing that Padme was pregnant in the first place. Could you not? Is that any different than that? Because don't the babies have potential?
But isn't the Force, your connection to the Force, intertwined with your emotions? And not to get all Roe v. Wade here, but I don't think that fetuses have emotions. Like, you can't have a dark side fetus.
True.
A Force choking the other twin.
True.
But is that what the Force is? More in tune with your emotions?
No. It's impacted for sure.
No.
That's how you go to the dark side.
Yeah, like the dark, but like, I mean, you have to. I think the quickest answer to your question is if you look how anti-attachment they are. Emotion is a byproduct of attachment. And so if they're saying void yourself of any and every attachment, it is the deliberate intent to devoid yourself of emotion, because once you have an emotional response to something, you're privy to any outcome that comes as a response to that particular emotion. Okay. I think I look about it that I didn't say when it came to the, Yoda's, Yoda's explanation and how he expounds on the Force, is it really sounds a lot like the human connection to nature, and how a lot of people will give technology more credence than they will nature, and how as human beings we are very privy to technology first, or we'll favor technology first and then nature second.
Yes. When
it should be the other way around. And so that's kind of what I take away from Yoda and his interpretations of things.
Do you think Leia sensed him at all?
Hell
no. Absolutely not.
Hell no.
Because she had that face like, wait.
Well, you have to remember as well.
She probably just mad.
You have to remember as well, this isn't their first interaction. And even Vader gives her a bit of credit in A New Hope when he says when he's trying to do like the mind probing, her resistance to the mind probe is very like considerable. Like he obviously has some knowledge of her power per se, like just her individual power, like human being speaking. But I think that there's something that he pulls or he senses in her that just out of curiosity more than anything probably tells her like, okay, last time you got away, this time I'm gonna need you to come with me.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm just waiting for him to use the forced paternity test. Just like wave his hand. Vader, you are the father.
Oh my god.
Damn!
Fight!
Final round. Round 10.
You have learned much, young one.
You'll find I'm full of surprises.
Your destiny lies with me, Skywalker. Impressive. You are beaten. It is useless to resist. Luke, you do not yet realize your importance. Join me, and I will complete your training.
I'll never join you!
If you only knew the power of the dark side. Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me you killed him.
No. I am your father.
No!
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son. Come with me.
Hear me.
We've got to go back.
What?
I know where Luke is.
What about those fighters? Look, someone's up there.
Slow down and we'll get under. Time to open the top hatch.
Oh man. Did you guys say this is like one of the most iconic twists in I guess movie history?
Who said that?
I said, would you guys say that? Because I did hear after that.
What twist?
Him, Luke finding out that's his father. Because if you watch from episode 4, 5, and 6, I don't know how many people actually knew that. If you're just going from 4, 5 instead of
Like,
just going
From a
prequels.
blank slate.
Yeah.
I would say it's definitely one of the most iconic and often misinterpreted lines in movie history, where he says, I am your father, as opposed to people always think it's Luke, I am your father. You pull the teeth there, but everybody knows that quote is a Star Wars thing. As far as swerves, I don't know if it's unpredictable. I mean, we have the disadvantage we can't really say because we have the entire continuity that we're analyzing, as opposed to being there before, from day one. Yeah. But I do want to ask you, with the penultimate, or excuse me, this is actually the ultimate. The ultimate scene in most Star Wars movies is the lightsaber battle with the Sith Lord. And where does the Vader fight rank against the previous ones that we've seen?
You're referring to, you said the Sith Lord like in 3? Like when Anakin versus Obi-Wan? Or
Anakin versus Obi-Wan, you had the one against Dooku, you have the one against Darth Maul.
I mean, if you want me to rank them, I
don't want an entire ranking. I'm just saying,
it's definitely better than the one with Obi-Wan from the last movie, of course. Not as good as the ones like the main ones in the prequel though. But as far as with Anakin and Obi-Wan, that's still the best one, of course. Count Dooku of the same.
Which one was the best one?
Anakin versus Obi-Wan and Mustafa. His name, in the lava.
Mm-hmm.
The Count Dooku one, I really like that one. I think I like the Count Dooku one in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith more than the last one in Attack of the Clones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure exactly why, but I think I just like it because it ends with him getting his head cut off. I think that's why. But this one is not bad at all. I like it. It's definitely good. Of course, there's going to be limitations because, of course, Darth Vader can't move all that. He can't do flips and everything like that. So there's going to be limitations, but I like the battle. I thought it was good enough, definitely.
I think it's the second to worst out of the franchise.
Why? What's the worst?
Obi-Wan versus Darth Vader, the last one. In A New Hope, but
was there one in the first one? Was there?
Yeah.
Darth Maul.
I totally forgot about that one. You have Qui-Gon versus Darth Maul. Part 2.
I would agree. Probably the second worst, but it's still not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's not hard to watch as far as being worse, but as far as like a ranking system, it would definitely be the worst out of them. I want to exclude the Disney sequels from the ranking just because we're probably not going to cover those. But yeah, it's definitely the worst out of the original trilogy and then the prequel.
One thing that I didn't necessarily I was impressed that Luke was able to get as many shots to Vader as he did, given his lack of experience. But I didn't like how Vader fought. It wasn't very fitting of his character. With for example, like hiding around the corner and then slashing at him. And
do you think he was holding back at all because that was his son? Because he was trying to recruit him, you know?
I mean, but you swing a lightsaber, that has the potential to kill somebody.
But they also train with lightsabers too, so.
He said it's the same.
But it's just the way he fought it wasn't consistent with who we know Darth Vader is.
So I want to ask a question. In Rogue One and in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, does Vader move any better than he does in these movies? He does move way better? Okay.
Yeah, Vader in those movies is way more ruthless. I mean, of course, he's still not flipping and doing anything of that nature, but he's obviously a bit more agile in comparison to these ones.
And as we stated before, there's 7 different styles of lightsaber combat.
7 different?
Mm-hmm.
Did we state that? What are these?
Yeah. What are they?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, you just know there's 7.
Yeah, I know that there's the one that Dooku uses. That's why he has a curved blade, because it's more fitting to his style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I like the scene, and I do have, of course, a qualm with Luke surviving this. I don't know if he was trying to kill himself or he planned to do this, or I don't know what he was trying to do. But.
Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to accomplish either. But to me, that's another fall. He should have broken something.
Should have died. Actually, not just broken something.
Well, broken his neck could have caused him to die. He should have died. Yeah. And then miraculously, he ends up hanging from the antenna jungle gym style on the back of his legs.
With one arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the scene, and just as far as the conclusion of the movie, I like the action in the movie. I have no problem with the action in the movie. The adventure, I like the adventure of the movie too, with Luke learning to be a Jedi and getting the training from Yoda, and him have to learning about the Force, and then at the end, him battling Darth Vader and barely surviving, and then of course you hear, "I am your father." I do like that adventure. The only thing I would hinder about the actual adventure is how Han, Leia, and Chewie got away with the Millennium Falcon a lot throughout the movie. Not just the ending scene too, but of course when Darth Vader was chasing them the whole time.
Not even that. Let's talk about R2-D2. My man's never been shot. Have you seen how many times?
Oh yeah.
He's been crossing fire.
Oh yeah. He should have been done by now.
Yeah,
he should have definitely been done by now. But like I was saying off screen, I really like this movie. Like I really enjoyed this movie more than A New Hope, and I think it's better than A New Hope too.
for sure.
As far as I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I would still say Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is my favorite one. But I feel this was probably next after that as far as a favorite. And I like the plot and the story and everything too. But what I would really say, what really leads it, of course you probably would disagree, is the visual effects. And I think the other part is the score by John Williams. I think he kind of outdoes himself. Kind of on the level of Revenge of the Sith too, because every scene is felt, especially the Darth Vader scene throughout the movie. The Darth Vader score throughout the movie. So
I actually don't disagree as much as you think I would. The majority of my objections to the visual effects and the stop motion animation was in the Battle of Hoth.
Oh, just
afterwards, the quality picks up drastically. That's another reason why I had a problem with it, because it just, imagine you have an entire house painted white, and then you have this one bedroom that's just like this gaudy purple. It just doesn't it doesn't fit. It's very off key. And so looking at the rest of the movie, which is for the most part it's very passable, like it stands the test of time. But then you see like the AT-AT walkers, and
I think that would make more sense to me if the Hoth scene was towards the end, and you got all.
Would it made more sense?
Yeah, like what you're saying made more sense to me, because if you got all this action and then at the end scene you have stop motion, like wait, why'd you switch it to this at the very end? You know? But that's just me. That's just like I said, difference in opinion.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Yeah. And as far as the characters, I do think they're on the same level as New Hope 2. I like how they extended on the relationship with these characters from Han and Leia becoming
it has a purpose.
Yeah, having actual feelings for each other, and of course, what I said earlier about Darth Vader becoming more ruthless.
Yeah,
I definitely like that, and I think it's in directing wise too. I would say there's still a few scenes or a couple of scenes where the cuts are still like, specifically the scene with the white fucking monster in the beginning. When he cut off his arm, it's like a weird cut that you don't really see it. You just see the arm falling down. So
yeah.
that was really the only thing as far as directing.
Akin to A New Hope when he slices his arm in the Kali Cantina.
Yeah,
or, not Kali Cantina, Mos Eisley Cantina.
Yeah. So other than that, I do think it's an upgrade from A New Hope. And
the limitations of arm amputations.
But yeah, I like I said, I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
I think as well. It didn't evoke another comparison across the franchise. It didn't evoke the same emotional reaction as Episode 3. Like by far, we all agree that's probably the best one. But there was a definite gravity to that movie, and when they called Order 66, and then I think there was another key moment in there. It was, I'm not saying we were in tears or anything like that, but you actually felt like, oh shit, this was serious, you know? Like there was, like I said, there was a lot of gravity to it. This one, it's a good movie, it's entertaining, but it didn't have the same range of emotions in my personal experience.
Sure. I will say one thing I did notice, like you said, was the score by John Williams, because I mentioned at the end of A New Hope that it was really not present at all. Like I really didn't appreciate the score in 1, 2, and 3 enough. You know, when we go into A New Hope, obviously with it being the introduction to the franchise, it just wasn't rich, of course, in that movie.
Yeah.
But you definitely get an elevation in the score in this one, where it's meticulously placed to benefit and supplement certain scenes the way it is in the sequels. Or I'm sorry, the prequels, not the sequels, the prequels.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly because I would say A New Hope score is probably the least effective score throughout the prequels and
The original
movies.
trilogy.
Yeah,
The original trilogy.
yeah, and I think it's just because this was the first time he did it. And he was
Yeah,
like,
don't get me wrong though. I mean, it's still iconic.
Yeah.
Like the Mos Eisley Cantina song is one of my favorites. But
Some groovy shit. I'm
yeah.
about to listen to it once y'all leave.
but yeah, I liked it. I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie.
Great movie, a definite improvement on the last.
Yeah, excited to see 6. So see how it ends as far as this trilogy.
For sure.
But if you guys like the movie review, don't forget to hit the like button. We're gonna see you guys in the next episode. Peace.